I'd have to say what I really enjoy about Happy State Bank is the morale that we have. Part of that goes back to the ownership that we talked about. Everybody understands as an owner, we're going to think like owners, not like managers, and we truly have each other's back each and every day. So that just the teamwork, everyone works so hard for each other, knowing that the ultimate goal is that each one of our customers is going to leave this bank knowing that we have given them everything we have as bankers to exceed any expectations they had out of our bank.
Turn over to City Manager to go through the agenda.
Good. Here, just in a moment, we're going to have some really good news for you. We'll start with the minutes, comments, corrections, suggestions, deletions. Insertions. I always forget that one. Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Stephen Adams, Mr. Dean Frio to come up. We're going to talk about item number 2 and item number 3. Item number 2 is the issuance of your revenue combination tax and revenue certificates for the drainage program. And number 3, ordinance 7375, is the issuance of the funding for the city fleet. And these gentlemen have been busy this morning doing mighty things, and we expect now to hear great things about such. Stephen?
Thank you very much. What Dean just handed out is a summary of the results of the sales of the 2 certificates of obligation that you authorized at one of your prior meetings. And since that time, we did presentations via conference call with the rating agencies, and Jared, Dean, Michelle, Mike, and the mayor were involved in those. And they went very well, the results of which were Standard & Poor's affirmed AAA bond rating of the city, and Moody's affirmed the AA1 rating of the city on the general obligation side. And those are, of course, very high ratings. Only AAA is the highest, and we inquired as to Moody's as what it would take to get that little extra third of a step to get to AAA, and they essentially said what was holding the city back was that the median income levels of this city were lower than the median income levels of other AAA cities, and therefore, in their view, it is exactly where it needs to be. We made our points that yes, they may be, but it also costs significantly less to live in Amarillo as these other AAA rated cities, because most of our suburbs are in affluent areas of big cities and really do have a higher cost of living.
Extremely
much, yeah. I'm sure the price for a median house in those cities would buy you a very large house. That being said, that's their view, and it is what it is.
But it's still very good.
It's very good.
There's
very,
a lot of people we kill for that rating.
And is AA1 higher than just AA?
Yes, it's the highest AA rating.
Okay.
I mean, it is.
It's a half step off the AAA.
Yeah, actually, it's a third step off of the AAA. So, I mean, it's just right up as high as you can get almost. So, I mean, that's really good. You should be proud of it, even though everybody else wants to do better. But that's really.
But we got AAA in the other.
Yes.
Okay. And both now have a stable outlook.
Yes.
Which is
correct. And just for the record, the United States government is rated with AA plus by Standard & Poor's. So actually by Standard & Poor's rated higher than the federal.
That's what we should be really.
So this morning we took bids for one issue at 10, the other one at 10:30. We received 8 bids on the Series 2012A. The winning bidder was UBS Financial Services, which means that it went to high-income individuals at a true interest cost of 1.763277%. We received 10 bids on the Series 2012B, the winning bidder being BOSC, which is Bank of Oklahoma Securities Corporation, Inc., at a 0.686050%, which is extremely low interest rates on borrowing money, which is reflective of your AAA bond rate.
Yeah, the A issue's a 20-year, and the B issue's a 5-year. That's the difference in the rates.
That's right. So we talked to the person that submitted the bid. We were curious as to who bought these securities, and they went to a combination of banks, an insurance company, and high-income individuals. And a couple of the securities they hadn't yet sold at that time, but they were working. Both issues have a revenue pledge. The A, the 20-year, has a continuing pledge of the drainage system. So this time next year, if we do any more drainage system, we could opt to sell straight revenue bonds without the tax pledge behind it, because we were well established at that time.
Let me ask a question just for my more general education. Are these what you consider tax-free municipal bonds?
Yes, tax-free.
And tax-exempt municipal bonds. Is there some move or pleasure in the future to remove the tax-exempt? Is that federal or state?
That is federal tax law.
Okay.
And so if they, if there's a major overhaul in the federal tax law, one of the things being discussed to raise revenues at the federal level is to stop allowing cities and states to sell debt which is exempt from federal income taxes. Texas doesn't have state income tax, but the states that do also, some allow and some don't allow their local political subdivisions to have tax exempt at the state level as well.
So that would, the long-term effect of things like this in the future, if that was to occur, would be to raise the revenues.
Yeah, this would be significantly percentage-wise higher rate for a tax-exempt security.
But the AAA is going to help us there also.
Right. And truthfully, it saves you because there's a lot of municipal issuers that have, say, a triple B rate. And there currently is a very, very thin market on the taxable side for credit. It's not AAA. So they're the ones that are really going to get forced. If that all were happening.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think Jared mentioned the two ordinances, 7374 and 7375. And moving on to page 2, this is the usage of the Series A certificates that we've previously gone over. This purpose is listed there at the top of the page, and the drainage utility with 1.5 coverage that we talked about earlier.
That's the same as our water and sewer coverage.
Now, page 3, here's a summary of the bids on the A series certificate. You can see UBS 1 followed pretty closely by Steeple Nicholas, and then the other firms that submitted bids. The 14 basis point spread is actually pretty low. We've seen a lot wider than that, but being high rating narrows it up.
This is the 20-year one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Would like, let's see, page 4, just a summary. The deposit and construction fund is a little bit larger, and I'll go over that on the next page and what we talked about. The average annual debt service is $188,000 starting out on the longer amount, and some of the asset being purchased had a shorter life, so that piece of the debt is shorter, so the average annual is a little bit different on the shorter end of that. We've got a debt service schedule in the back that kind of goes over that. I think
Well, the goal was that if you look on page 5, we split it into the 20-year financing and the 5-year financing. The 5-year was for the rolling stock we bought. We didn't want to finance that over 20 years, so we structured a deal that it would be paid off in 5.
so actually the
Not
5-year
called, simply paid off.
Correct.
paid off. Right. So on page 5, the one thing I would like to point out, the coupon rate is so low, since the interest rate is so low, that a couple of the bidders called me and said, is there any way we can bid a premium, meaning give more money to the city, and in return get a higher coupon rate? Well, there's a lot of restrictions both from a federal tax law and a state law on doing that. However, you can do it for the amount of the proceeds that are going to be used for cost of issuance. So if you look on page 5, and you see the cost of issuance on the bottom right of $70,000, we were allowed to receive a bid of up to that amount. So the winning bidder is paying you a premium of $69,993.06 that they're giving to you in excess of par. What that means is we've got an extra almost $70,000 in the construction fund that can either be spent according to the publication of the newspaper or just put in the debt service fund. So
Free money.
you got some more money to spend.
They paid your cost of issuance.
They paid your cost of issuance, but if you look on page 6 and you look at those coupon rates, they are a little bit higher than they otherwise would have been. We probably would not have received a bid with a lowest true interest cost of 1.76 had we not allowed that discount, premium to be paid in C. And the investors just want more coupon, and it's not available in the market because the rates are so low. So that's what's driving that. Page 7, moving on to the B certificates. The purposes of the financing on the top part, again, what we've done over before. The bottom part, ad valorem property tax pledge and a limited $1,000 municipal solid waste fee pledge. Page 8, the bids on this range from .686 and the number before all the way up to .97. We did get a couple more bidders on this one. So we did receive some more bids, and the spread on this was 28 basis points, which this is a shorter maturity, so it's a wider spread, which is kind of odd, but still a really, really good rate. Page 9, summarizing this, we did receive a little bit larger deposit on this as well to the construction fund because of the premium that was requested by the bidders. To equal 0.68050%. Interest rate, average annual debt service $480,000 and some change. Page 10, just the projects that we have in the budget for the $2,739,000. Looking at the sources and uses, we actually are going to end up with the possibility of spending $2,786,000, about $34,000 more, or if the city doesn't want to spend it, it can just put it in the debt service fund and use that to repay some of the interest.
Question, Stephen, the rate on the street. Because I've had people ask me, why are you issuing a certificate of deposit for equipment like that? And I said, well, because of interest rates and the fact that it gives us time to pay it back, blah, blah, blah. But correct me if I'm wrong, but the rate, if you were to go on the street for heavy equipment to finance it through a GMAC or a bank or whatever, you're probably going to pay at least 3, if not 4%.
3.2 for golf carts, I've already checked.
That's a good.
Yeah, it's in the 3 range that we take depending on the maturity. I mean, I've seen that at other cities that are looking at this option. And, their cost of funds is higher than this, so they can't spread it and get, and when you're AAA, that's what happens is their cost of funds is higher than yours by so much that if they put any spread on it, they're going to be way above your borrowing rate. So they couldn't make a profit and loan to you at these rates.
Have these rates come down quite a bit just in the last week or so?
They came down significantly on Wednesday.
And that's because people are pulling out of the market because they anticipate higher capital gains rates?
No. That's because there was a chance that a Romney victory would have led to a change in Fed policy. Current Fed policy being leave rates as low as we can through at least 2014. That policy was, I guess, supported at the election, so the rates therefore changed, reflecting that sentiment. I mean, there may have been other things as well that you talked about, but this is the primary thing, was the expectation.
You were
Especially the short end like
You were at
this.
the right place at exactly.
Yeah, and you might remember
It was dumb luck, but we'll take it.
we talked about that possibility, when we presented this a month ago, that, the rates could be higher if there's a Romney election. And he says he wants to change Fed policy. Because, the Fed controls the short end of the rate. That's where this 0.68
And they said that publicly in their last meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, they
If
extended
the markets come off 500-600 points from its recent high, what, something like
Yeah. So, you see the coupon rate here, obviously not 0.68, so the reason that it gets there is because of that premium. When you take that into account with present value. Our timing, we expect to close on December the 12th. The only thing that happens between now and then is that you consider this later today, and if it is passed by the commission, then by forestry will have all the documents approved by the Attorney General's office, and we'll close.
but the rates are locked.
Rates are locked. These are offers to purchase securities at these rates from the commission. And so there's recommendation. The first one that we recommend that you sell the Series 2012A certificates to UBS Financial Services Inc. And the recommendation that you sell the Series 2012 certificates to BOSC Inc. And that's all that I have.
Good news.
And
Yeah.
in these ordinances, we need to specify the box, do we not? Or not really?
I don't think you need to. You
No.
can just say,
They'll do the presentation, a brief presentation in your deal. I do think it's important to note the rates that you're getting. I mean, that's just a tremendous benefit to the city. And we have the
Probably
we've got the
reference to
building
the Series
ordinance.
A and Series B.
Yeah, there'll be two separate items.
What were you saying, Jerry?
The Dean and Stephen, the ordinances in your packet have got blanks in them for rates and so forth, and that's been now completed. So we have those for you.
The sale was just this morning.
You got the new. Yeah, how'd you get this published?
well, it was
Hey, we even had
the people that work for us did a lot of work.
Just have fill in the blanks.
Our print shop did a heck of a job.
Good job.
We typically do this the day before, but yesterday was Veterans Day. The markets were closed, so we did it this morning to meet this meeting.
The banks were closed,
So you
markets were
work
closed.
with them, you're going to
Well,
read it, you're going
we
to
didn't
memorize the numbers.
Well, they're actually,
And
so they're not needed. We don't need to, you want us to read the numbers as part of the ordinance, Jared, or do you want us to wait and just have the discussion?
Just have the discussion.
Yeah. So,
State it publicly.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good work. Told you there was good news there. That's
Yeah, especially
amazing numbers.
I was in Carmel for about 7 years.
not in my budget.
We did it.
Those rates are available down the street?
I don't think so.
Unless the factory does it, and that's everything, I guess, in this case.
Did you stay in your phone?
Heck no.
Okay, Mayor, if you're ready, let's talk about items 4 and 5.
Okay?
Item 4, what we would ask, public hearing. This would consist both of a presentation by Melissa Daly on the streetscape enhancement grant. And then after she finishes, any questions that you may have, but also then an opportunity for any questions, comments from the public in attendance. Following that, let's close the hearing and then move to item 5.
No action.
No action on item 4. Item 5 would be the consideration of a resolution which would authorize the submission of the streetscape, I've been able to say that all day long, grant.
For palliative, I mean, that's a really hard.
Kate say it.
did a speech at lunch and tried to say partners for post-secondary success. And thought I was going to fall off the back of the stage. That made me laugh. Okay. Item 5, Streetscape Enhancement Grant. This is the remnants of the program that I think you're all familiar with, what used to be called the STEP program that TxDOT has. The city has been an applicant several times in recent years. We've not been successful in recent years. The current proposal, and TxDOT's made some fundamental changes to this program. Probably the most obvious of which is, number one, they take 15% off the top, period, all in, all done. Okay? Number two, they no longer consider the preparation of plans and specifications or the project engineering to be an eligible project expense, although you can't do the project unless you then do so. So working within those constraints, and the final constraint being the timeline that TxDOT has for the timely expenditure of the funds if you receive the grant, Melissa and her group have put together what I think is a very good application. And the sheet that we handed out, the yellow blocks, those are the blocks that are in this TxDOT grant request. Those remaining blocks that are in the, I guess that's a gray or a silver box, those are either done privately or are done as part of your 3 large public-private projects. Okay. The total then, including the 15% administrative fee to TxDOT, is $1,925,942, or $1,925,942. The 20% match off of that is calculated at $385,188, which your tiers board has offered to pay. So, presume that you consider and pass this resolution, and later on your consent agenda is the approval of the tiers piece that locks in that match money. And I haven't had a chance to visit with Kelly because he's been most busy today. He's been across the street. Will you fill us in?
Sure. Because of the timing of this project, we've had entities that just bang, are meeting. The Tiers Board now on the 8th and approved funding up to $400,000 for the project. Went over to Potter County as part of the Tiers agreement. Any of the projects that Tiers is involved in, goes through Potter County for their review and comment. They had already met a few weeks ago to, by resolution, support the application process. So we felt that this was not going to be a problem, and it wasn't. We talked to them about what the Tiers did, and that would be the funding mechanism for it, and talked about the project, specifically where it was and what it would do is tie in all the pieces together along Buchanan and 6th. And they were all for it and had good things to say about it. So they had no negative comments for your meeting today.
Did they take a vote, did you say, on a resolution?
They didn't. Well, earlier to support the project, okay. They did, and we were putting that resolution, that letter of support in with the application.
Okay.
They really don't have to approve the application. Yeah. We run by them. That's part of the agreement, the Tiers agreement. And I'm sure we seek their input if they have.
Sure.
Did they vote on the $400,000 though eventually? That coming from Tiers?
No, he was correct. They get the opportunity to review the project and then comment on it.
Oh, okay.
They really don't need any
Right,
of that.
okay.
A lot of your downtown entities have worked hard on this. They've worked quickly. As Kelly said, Tiers considered it Thursday. It's now been to Potter County and posted for your consideration as well. I think the turn-in deadline is Friday. So, good opportunity if we're able to get that. And if you look again at the silver outlines, that will show you the extent of the connection on the Buchanan 6th Street corridor. All that will begin to come together.
That would all tie in with the Happy State Bank improvements that are already there, the improvements that will be coming with the Tooten Totem, so that will be one solid corridor from 11th all the way up to about 4th Street, actually, I guess, when it's all said and done. And then that portion of 6th Street goes from, 5th Street, up to 6th Street from Buchanan over to Fillmore.
I have a question. Because Amarillo College also gives up, tiers funds or is involved in tiers, why isn't this ever on a regent's agenda? Even to talk about it?
The only people that got an approval to review when the tiers, when they all agreed that the tax rebate was Potter County. They specifically asked for a review process, no vote. None of the other entities felt it was necessary.
That's also where the additional representation for Potter County on the tiers board derived.
Part of it.
Okay.
Actually, Kelly, this would bring it clear up to Fillmore or Taylor on 6th, wouldn't it? Because of the other.
It will go to Taylor because it'll tie into
Yeah.
Potter County Courthouse.
A lot of blocks are covered.
Altogether.
This would make a very large connection of those.
Great work.
Hopefully it'll be successful.
Any questions? We'll find out.
The
other thing they did on this is they divided the money that's available into 2 pots. The first part of the money goes to the major MPOs, so the DFWs, the Houston, Boston, and they compete for their own set-aside. If you were an applicant for that set-aside and you didn't get the set-aside, you then still get to compete with all the rest of us that are in the other pot. So, again, there's been some fundamental changes to how they were doing this.
Well, last time they favored smaller communities, but I think Claude got the last one.
Canyon. Gateway Project out there, Perryton, Claude, maybe some other. Panhandles had this money, I think.
And we're caught right in the middle here.
So are we doing anything differently this time?
I think one of the major differences is, number one, you're doing it on what they call on-system roads. You're doing it on state roads. And number two, you're tying it to an even bigger project that's also being done in the same area. And I wish we knew the magic bullet to fire, but any closer we could get.
Good job.
Thank you. Item 6, I would suggest continuing the good news. This is authorizing the submission of the application back to the state controller to receive that portion of the sales tax, state sales tax back for benefits gained from hosting the Edequan.
So I'm assuming they voted to bring it back to Amarillo, because I never did hear that.
Yep, they did. There's one agreement left.
Did he leave? They haven't signed the contract, but yes.
One agreement coming back from the Bailey District to them to verify a few things, but then it's basically done. I don't think they're publishing it yet, but it's 99.5% done for 5 years.
Just 3.
Yeah.
And WRCA announced that they were staying 3 years.
Theirs is 3.
Theirs is 3, but that's as positive as they were. They said, we're sticking with you guys. You stuck with us, and we were nothing. They were characters of it.
They've been good. If you've been here yesterday afternoon, it's amazing. I think all of y'all saw it through the weekend with the stalls and warm-up pins and all that stuff. And by Monday evening, there was none of that here.
No, not
Dirt's gone. Everything's gone.
There's a few biological remnants, but that's working its way out, too.
Did they board in those horses out at the fairgrounds?
Jim, I don't know. They board a large number of them here in the parking lot.
Yeah, they had
with
stalls
portable
on
stalls.
Yeah, I was supposed to wear that, but.
If they're somewhere else, I'm not aware of
Yeah,
it.
okay.
But
Lots of cars, trucks,
it was pretty neat.
trailers.
The north lot was full of trailers.
I walked through the area Saturday,
For the vendors.
Friday. It was amazing how many vendors.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't been to the trade show part of it,
It's
it's bigger than the rodeo part is.
Well, I just want to relate a personal deal. I was out at Walmart, and I was buying some fabric. This lady was buying fabric, and she told the worker, says, well, I can't get this in Arkansas, and I'm here for the rodeo, so I thought I'd come in. And I said, oh, are you participating in the WRC? He says, no, we just live in Arkansas, and we come every year to that event. We love this event. And as a matter of fact, we're thinking about moving to Amarillo.
Whoa.
I mean, so they have a following of people from all over the country just to come and see this one event.
Vendors said that they do better at this show than they do in Las Vegas because it's less suited into it and you get a lot more people. And what I understand is the regional people save their money for a year and come and buy everything they need at the show for their personal goods and
Get their hats clean.
Get their hats clean and get the signs made. It's amazing. It was cool to go see.
The tickets for Saturday's event were sold out in August.
Yeah,
Oh,
Friday
my
was
God.
sold
2 days
out.
were sold out.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
I wonder if Beck's booth gets extra attention this week from booths and things, you know?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, everybody had these. You should have seen the booth display.
Really?
It would have filled this room 5 times.
I was waiting for the press conference.
Yeah, it's an awesome show.
Hmm.
But I need to tell Sherman never to give them seats on their old A because when the horses go by all the dust hits you in the face. I had to eat dirt all over my face.
Really? It's like being in the sitting section of a wrestling match.
That's okay.
That's the place to be.
Especially if it's
The hockey game where you got
Exactly.
Okay, I think it's time.
So let's read it.
I think we're ready.
All right, let's go with it.
Okay.
Item 7, consent agenda. Item A is the purchase of fire trucks, 3 of them. These were in your budget. 2 scheduled replacements, and 1 was the upgrade where we discussed taking one of the old grass rigs and instead of buying another one, put some money with it and upgrade it to an engine. That's that. We do buy these on the co-op contracts so that we can, in effect, pick the truck, but that allows us to have all of our trucks the same.
This not doing a grass truck is because they're just not using near as much as these. Is that what?
This is one of the small ones, and we have several others. Plus, we now have the 2 big, what they call the urban, or the Wildland interface trucks.
Okay.
And that's the one that looks like a fire engine, but it's 4-wheel drive and has a giant tank in it.
Okay.
We didn't have those 2 back when we were buying this size of grass truck. Item B, we've already discussed this. This would be the approval of the tax increment reinvestment zones commitment of up to $400,000 as the match for the streetscape project. And again, the actual number is just a little over $385. But the way they styled it, it was up to 400 because all these estimates didn't get locked down until Friday after lunch. Then item C is a license and hold harmless agreement out in the country club edition where there's a building encumbering a utility easement. Comments or questions on the consent agenda or the agenda as a whole? Okay, with that, Mayor, we would ask that we call a closed session.
All right,